Should we put our phone on D&D?
Yeah. Oh, man.
Dungeons and Dragons?
I've got 6%. That's no good.
Need a charger, my good fellow?
Yes, sir. Please.
Absolutely.
Okay. I'm going to have my phone out a little bit because I didn't print.
Gosh, every sound is just so strange.
I didn't. We're recording. This is going in there. All this is going.
I mean, we're basically ASMR right now.
No, you are. That you know how bad that bothers me?
ASMR.
I can't stand it. Hearing people eat, man. When
What
me
is
and
it they
Jim
always
get
do?
dinner done, I got to put on a song or something. I can't. Nice. Thank you.
You need a phone stand?
I know. I got it. I'm sure. Yeah, I got this one.
Charger in there? That's gonna work.
Did you see the video yesterday of like people were trying to leave the Palisades basically, and they were all abandoning their cars. There's Teslas, Bentleys, Porsches, like in the middle of the street. Bulldozer just like pushing them through because they couldn't leave fast enough. The fire spread from the mountain to the beach in an hour,
Yeah.
like 1,000 acres.
Oh my gosh.
Because the Santa Anas are like this. They were basically having a windstorm right now, so there's like category 1 like speed winds.
No, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I know you have friends there. That sucks.
Yeah, they've all been evacuated, and then one lost their house already. They're, I mean, if I was
And they
saying-
probably don't have insurance. Like,
well, they have fire, but like apparently a bunch of the insurance companies have been sending out letters at the beginning of the year canceling people's fire insurance, and they haven't had time to find new fire insurance. So people are like, I don't know if I'm covered or not.
Big insurance knew this was coming, is what you're saying.
they started the fire.
Yeah,
They started the fire.
we didn't light it, but we tried to fight it.
So today, just wanted to. We've got a lot of ideas that we talk about on a weekly basis, video ideas, but it kind of feels like we're at times going too deep into them in a platform where we won't even get the info that we just talked about. And so to make sure that we can go through some of these ideas and also maybe provide some bit of entertainment behind the scenes for how this stuff works. We wanted to do a podcast and get these ideas done and in a format that we can go back and look at and say, okay, well, we didn't do the nosy neighbor video. We need to go back and do that, or different videos. But I appreciate you guys making the time to sit down. Ramsey?
Glad to be here.
So this is like a Seinfeld show style where we have a show about a show where we make public the private moments of strategizing what we do, why we do it, what are we going to do that's going to be our next fun video project.
People also be able to see when a video idea gets popped up where it's like, okay, we should pump the brakes on this.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that doesn't make it,
Yes.
or maybe I bet there could be one that we talk about today that we pump the brakes on that somebody ends up saying, no,
Don't pump those brakes.
do it.
Do the deal. I want that feedback. In
Every-
fact, that's probably one of the things that we've really been needing that we've not had,
Yeah.
which is the open conversation of what do people really want? Because
Right.
that's the constant goal is how can we give the people what they would enjoy? The whole effort is around creating content that is entertaining, educational, and engaging to our people. We want to give them a good time when they're scrolling and they see our brand. They know it's going to be something that's going to bring value to them. It's
Worth
going to
watching.
bring a smile to them. It's worth their attention. And that's kind of what I think we're going to be able to accomplish today is giving them that platform to share, hey, I don't love that idea, but I liked that one.
Yeah, 100%. And this thing that you're holding on to right here, this was a shared note that me and Chase had every night at like 11:30, 11:45, sometimes later. It'll be like Chase Rackley is editing
Yes.
content calendar,
Yes.
content creation.
Yeah, when you're in the weeds of doing real estate, it can be difficult to make the time to work on the business because you're kind of busy just working in it, doing the deals. And so it's often that pillow time where you're like, oh, that would be a great video. and you get to kind of take a second to journal through these ideas. And what happens is you get this long, long list of ideas. And so I'd love to kind of go through some of these practical ideas and see what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So tell me first. I can tell you about some of these serious ones. Maybe just to get that out of the way. Something I've wanted to do for a while is process implementation videos. So when you go under contract, Ramsey and I've had this video where it's, hey, congratulations, you're under contract. You know, this is an exciting time. If you're anything like me, you're probably going to be talking about this experience with friends and family. We'd love for you to get to, when you're sharing about that, if you hear of anyone else that's thinking about buying or selling a home, be sure to let us know so we can have the chance to give them the same great service that we're working to provide you, and just asking for a referral. And that's like a snippet as to what we're talking about when we say process. So like when you go under contract, maybe even another video for the inspections tomorrow. What's that inspection? And what is the inspection like? What are we looking for? How can we make sure we're getting the best bang for our buck on this process? And then we've got, you know, the closing that's coming up. What do I need to make sure I've prepared for? Just a reminder for utilities. It's like, I really would like to have process implementation. It's not always the most entertaining thing, but it's very educational and very engaging and highly targeted to the person in their specific, step of their closing experience. And then I guess before I move on, any thoughts on if we were to try and, choose from all these videos, what we're going to double down on over the next week, is that one worth attention?
I think so. I mean, because it'll reduce a little bit of uncertainty, because we can tell somebody what to expect, but letting them know again what to expect right before or right after something happens, it's going to trigger that next thing needed from them.
Totally.
Yeah, and I think it also is double faceted in the sense of it can be used on social media as an educational tool, but it can also be sent to the client in the moment.
Yes.
Even post buyer consultation, like you have buyer consultation, obviously, then fast forward, maybe a month or two later and you're under contract and they're trying to reference that, meeting they had in their mind. Well, if you can send them a video as a reminder to say, hey, these are the points we hit, by the way.
Yeah.
I
like
it's
that.
a good reminder.
Yeah. It's a double whammy, because you're giving the particular advice to the particular person, but it also can be a promotional tool for sharing a little bit of insight to how we help a buyer.
Yep.
Yeah, I like that.
Well, I mean, the best way to deliver something right is always tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what you're going to tell, or what is it? Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them what is it?
Tell them what you're going to tell them. Tell them, and then tell them what you told them.
Yeah. You got it.
I walked in, I said, wow, what a green room this is. Perfect example.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
Struggling to follow, but yes.
Yeah, no. I was trying to say, like,
I'm gonna say how green this room is. This room is green.
It is green.
When I said that room was green,
if you listen to recent time politicians, I feel like you can pick that up a lot.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
yeah. So
it's a tale as old as time.
if we, I think it's important to remember why we do videos the way we do them in general. It is important to us that we are partnering the timeless best practices and pairing that with today's tech, with the cherry on top of personality and creativity that is true to the Rackley brand. And so when we are making these little process videos, I think that's a really good point, that we need to try and make it in a way that it can double whammy, where it's able to create serious value for the person going through the process, but also have the ability to be entertaining and engaging to someone who's maybe thinking about going through that process. And I hadn't thought about really until you're saying this now, of these videos could be intentionally created to be fun and able to reach a wider audience. And I think that's actually a good idea, because originally I was even thinking, well, should I just make these little selfie videos where I just talk through it real quick? But maybe these could be, maybe we could find ways to create entertainment within each of these, congrats on going under contract inspection, talking about the sexy six. What if we actually like did something sexy around the six areas of the home inspection process?
Yeah, I think that there's opportunity to kind of break it up, right? It's when we ultimately sit in a buyer consultation with a client, it's 30 minutes to an hour long, conversation, especially just going through the actual steps to purchase is, maybe 10 minutes, right? So you can't just do a 10-minute video. It doesn't work on all platforms. But I think, is there a time and place for that? Yes. But I think you could break it up into, little deep dives or little funny segments.
I love that.
For each one. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I think that's a really good idea. And I'd be curious to lean in heavy on, maybe which of these, if we could just real quick to pick, if we were going to pick one that we were going to say, this is going to be our next one that normally would be kind of a slightly boring, more serious, educational next steps type talk, we're going to try and actually make a genuine effort to make it entertaining and fun. Which one should we do first?
As far as steps in the process?
Yeah. If we wanted to take a process implementation video and make it more of an entertaining, promotional tool to partner with the highly targeted approach.
I think inspection would be one. I feel like that's something that most people worry about quite
Yeah.
a bit.
It's also it's the most stressful step often of the transaction.
It's the deal killer.
It's the deal killer.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can make that a little more, to be able to laugh about how much of a problem some of these inspection reports.
Could even show like examples of this was a really bad one. Show the example and show an example of a good one. Show an example of how one client treated the inspection period versus how another client treated the inspection period.
And then just even how to approach the negotiation of it, and how to digest an inspection report.
Yeah, I like it. I'm thinking through.
Yeah.
So I think that could be a good, interesting one for sure. A lot to digest there. Very informative.
Be useful too. I mean, I'd be sending it every time.
Yeah.
Could it be, I'm trying to think of how could we like exaggerate the feeling that you get when you pay this person to tell you that you're buying a pile of garbage. I mean, you think you have fallen in love with this place. You're so excited. And you're just wanting somebody to tell you, oh, congratulations, you got a great one.
It's perfect.
It's perfect. And the reality is 9 to 10 out of 10 of the time, you're going to receive a report that's telling you, oh, there's a lot wrong with this place.
Yeah.
And there's this like a natural response, particularly for our first time home buyers. They will pay this person to tell them that their house is falling apart. And so they're like, oh, this is too much. I'm terminating.
Immediately
then
jump ship.
They jump ship and they go find another one. And then they pay the inspector to come back and tell them the same stuff. And they're like, oh, it's too much. And then they terminate. On the third one, they're like, oh, I think I get it now. I realize like this inspector has to kind of show as much as he can to make sure that the buyer feels like they're getting their money's worth from paying this guy. And they word these inspection reports in a way that can be very daunting and overwhelming, to the point of sometimes the buyer's detriment. When they can't protect the emotions of the buyer, they're making emotional decisions to terminate instead of, in some situations, what would be considered a wise decision.
I
Terminate.
feel like much of the time when your doctor comes in and delivers bad news, right? He's done it so many times.
He's
kinda
numb to it.
desensitized to it.
He's so
He's numb,
desensitized.
and he just delivers it quickly, walks out, and everyone's like,
He's out of there.
oh, that was crazy. And then someone else helps come in later, and a nurse or maybe even a social worker, depending
Totally.
on the severity, and helps you understand and process it.
Yeah.
And say like, oh, this is actually very common. This
Yeah.
happens all the
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Then
And,
they're like,
and they
oh,
have to say it in
there's
a
a
way that
perspective.
protects themselves too.
Yeah.
So, because if they tell you that, well, it might be cancer, we don't know. We're not, and then you end up having, it's like, that's the doctors can be liable for that.
Yeah.
When it's almost easier. That's a bad example because they probably wouldn't.
Well, it's like, yeah, you have there's you like, for instance, you like you had a myocardial infarction. You're like, oh gosh, like
Yeah, that makes sense
that
because
sounds
we all know
really-
what that
That
is.
sounds really terrible. It's a heart attack, right?
Of
But-
course.
So if some people first off don't know what that means, like I literally had a friend, like that's what they walked in. They're like, oh yeah, you had a myocardial infarction.
Totally.
She's like, okay. And then the doctor left. She went home, calls my mom. I was like, yeah, I had a myocardial infarction. She was like, I was like, you had a heart attack? And she's like, is that what that is? She had no idea.
Oh no!
You know, like half the time you walk out of the doctor's office and you're Googling, like, what
what
did you
is
just tell
this
me that I
even?
The
had?
doctor can do that. The doctor can give the patient some insane, not insane, a word that some people know, a lot of people don't know, and tell them to just go about it and everything's cool.
yeah.
An inspector cannot.
Yeah,
No.
well, that's why I often, when I'm sitting there, I always attend my inspections. You know, I try to be present with the buyer. and I
So
like the
good.
buyer to
That's
be
so right.
physically present for the end of the inspection to get the summary, to put eyes on the findings, but also to be able to have that conversation and digest instead of just have the report. And I think often I'll make sure when they point out something and the buyer has a reaction, and I've seen it on a million inspection reports, or I've seen it at a million different inspections, I'll say like, you know, look at the inspector and say, and this is a pretty common one that we see,
It's
right?
good.
And then they'll say, oh yeah, they'll affirm like, oh, most definitely. We see this all the time. And then the buyer's like, oh, okay. You know, because in their mind, this is maybe the first home they're buying, or they haven't bought a home in years. So this is like, oh gosh, this is probably the only house that has this problem.
Yes.
And then the inspector and I have seen it a million times.
Yes.
And I try to put that into perspective
Totally.
for the buyer. Like, doesn't mean it's not important, no. But doesn't mean that it's common and easily addressable, yes. you
No,
know.
absolutely. I love that. And I think that's such a great like shout out to Ramsey for showing up for his inspections. The average agent does not show up for their inspection. And it is so important we always recommend that our buyers show up for the end of the inspection at least. It's not particularly helpful for them to be there during the whole inspection because the inspector needs to stay focused on inspecting. And if you're present, sometimes it can almost be a distraction and unnecessarily lengthen the time that he's needing to be there. And so for him to be able to be there, and then you could be there for the end, either via phone call or in person,
Yep.
to walk through what he's found. Because in person, when you can talk through it, particularly with the realtor present, they're able to kind of communicate the discoveries in a way that's way less daunting and less threatening. You're able to, because some things are absolutely termination worthy, and we can help you to say, this is a very reasonable request. And if the seller is not willing or able to accommodate this request, termination is a very encourageable option here. But otherwise, I'd hate for you to miss out on this great house that checks your boxes. It's a great deal. It's the right home. And if you terminate based on some of these, scary discoveries that are very manageable, you may end up finding yourself dealing with the same problems, if not worse ones, on the next house.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So how do we communicate all that in a entertaining, educational music video? Let's get through this inspection, hot and fresh out there. Okay, so moving on. The next one was
I feel like it's
What
hot and fresh out
inspection?
inspection.
Hot and fresh out inspection. Got a new couch in a section. No,
Yeah, I love it.
I like the inspection. I think that's what we should do. We should lock in for making the next week about hammering out that part of the process video that we can send all of our clients. And I was even thinking if somebody, like say Nathan Brown, for example,
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool if he had his that's pretty much the same as ours, or like if, I don't know, like tailored to per agent. 'Cause there's certain clients I might want to send them the one that's the music video, and then I got a client named Dale. I'm not sending Dale a music video.
Yeah, no way.
You know?
Dale hates the music videos.
Shout out to Dale.
Love Dale.
Great client.
Good guy. Yeah.
Great guy.
And we close friends.
Great at poker.
Yeah, I think you could do. Well, I think that we've got options there, right? I think number one, we could create an agent specific video for each agent, right? Like give a script and say, like, hey, this is the general like topics that you're gonna hit. This is, and you obviously like add your personality and create your own spin on it. And I think even each agent could have a more serious professional one and a more like a funnier one, right?
Totally.
And you obviously, depending on the client relationship, would send one or the
I
other.
love that.
And so kind of curate it to one of two audiences, and then agent specific, so that a new agent or one of our other agents doesn't just send a video of me delivering this information, which
Yeah.
if that's what they feel comfortable with, they can. But I think the individual branding of the agent is of utmost importance to keep that relationship
good.
and that trust.
Yeah. I do think a well-made, like practically,
You could even have one video where you're clipping in multiple teammates throughout the video.
a little montage.
Like if there's sexy six, you could have one person talking about each of the six.
Realtors. This is the answer I've been looking for.
Six sexy
So we got-
agents
Let's
telling
tell
you
people
about
what
the
sexy
sexy
six. We haven't said what the sexy six means
Well,
yet.
there's 6 sexy agents. That's what it is.
So Nathan is on the roof laying out,
Yeah.
and he's talking about the roof. Okay, so the sexy six: roof, heating and air, plumbing, electrical, foundation, and mold
Or water issues.
/ water.
/water.
Yeah. So
Because that can involve drainage, crawl
Right.
space, moisture
yeah,
holding.
water is the right thing for me to
Yeah,
say. So roof, heating and air, plumbing, electrical, foundation, and water. These are 6 areas of the home that can be economically crashing to a buyer if they have a discovery after they've closed. That can really be a very costly expense if there's something that they've not caught when they could have or should have.
Those typically are the items that we deem as the highest cost or safety concerns.
Yeah, safety or economical risks are what we're looking for. And so these inspectors are often not licensed roofers. They're often not licensed electricians. However, shout out Barrett Moon. He is a licensed electrician, does a great job with that. They're not mold specialists. They're often not foundation specialists. So most of the actual discoveries in your inspection report have these little asterisks that say recommend having a licensed expert to further inspect. And so proactively as a team, we often will recommend going ahead and having a licensed roofer, a foundation person, a mold person, if that's of any type of potential concern. And then we're going to have these things proactively inspected. And so to try and have each agent represent each of these 6 areas in a potentially comical way, I think that could work. Like if Nathan's on a house, like maybe sitting on a beach chair on the top of the house, he's like, and this is what you're looking for your roof. And, maybe someone I don't know, I'm thinking like Chris Green is crawling in the crawl space,
Mylan's by the HVAC.
Mylan's by the HVAC, just having the wind from the HVAC blowing his. Oh wait,
George is
he
under
doesn't
the
have hair.
foundation. She's the one holding it up. That could be funny.
Yes.
That would be cool.
Oh, I love that.
And then I'm talking about water.
Yeah, someone's just dripping
And
faucets. Or-
Mylan,
yeah. One of the most common discoveries in an inspection report is that a toilet is loose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
Shaking.
All the time.
So just have someone just shaking the toilet, and be like, this is going to be on there because if it wasn't loose, it is now because the inspector shakes it so hard.
Yeah.
It's like they want to make sure they have at least something on there for plumbing. And so they're going to make sure you have a loose toilet.
It's every
Every single one.
It's crazy.
A loose toilet.
I'm on to them.
Yeah.
And the GCFI.
And people are like, oh gosh, a loose
Oh,
toilet.
loose toilet. This is a problem.
We should probably terminate.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, it's just potentially tightening 2 screws. Or
Totally.
worst case scenario, the wax ring's gone bad. The wax ring's $5.
$5.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, that's good. I think that's a real practical thing we could do is incorporating. I actually love incorporating teammates into the videos. The only concern is there can be some level of risk to the evergreenness in the sense that the volatility of our industry, having something like 80% of realtors either quit or switch brokerages every 2 years. And so if someone were to leave, we'd have to redo that portion of the video or just be okay with using someone else's likeness.
It'll be 3 years in May. I'm not a statistic.
Heck yeah, dude. Praise God. Yeah, there are some that I would say are kind of like evergreen realtors where it's they can be able to communicate their needs and they're also not dependent on a brokerage to make them successful. They're self-driven and the brokerage only helps to equip and launch them. Yeah. Those are the ones that typically end up thriving, the ones that stick with where, the water, the grass where they're standing. those are the ones that typically thrive. The ones that switch a lot are typically the ones with lesser volume in general. But all to say, I do like the idea, and I think we could do it. I just would want to be careful to choose the inclusion of, realtors that we do trust are going to stay true to the brand.
Yeah. I think all the ones that we named are rock solid.
Oh, yeah.
Rock
Yeah.
solid.
I love hearing that.
In that case, I guess we would just, say somebody gets out of the industry for just a personal reason or something, and they're on the video. It'd be super easy because then we only have to redo one part.
You could clip in,
of the
yeah,
video.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
You
a
could
good
do an
point.
edit and just clip in that one portion.
I like that,
I
actually.
do like the current team. I was talking to Ramsey about this. I was like, I need this to stay. I need everybody that's here right now to keep being here.
Man, I love that. I feel that way too. It's really interesting because it's advised to me often to make a more aggressive approach towards recruiting. And we just never made any recruiting efforts because I really like to protect what we have. And where a lot of brokerages have failed is that they do focus so much on growing their quantity that they do it at the expense of some quality control. And I would much rather have the few, the proud, the Marines of realtors, the ones that we know and trust are committed to excellence and to a good time and to giving a good time to the clients that they serve in the process of buying or selling. And that's what we got, and it's going to continue to grow.
Yeah.
I do want to find some ways to naturally attract and increase the efforts of how we naturally recruit people who want to be and are naturally like that. And there probably are some that we could benefit with partnering, but it is a sweet thing that what we have right now. We're in a sweet season and it's a sweet time, and I am thankful for who we have.
Yeah. I agree.
PTO.
Okay, so we've got a lot of different videos to talk about, and we're still in the boring stuff. So let's start flying. So if we were to go, the next stuff is the neighborhoods. Before we were going to do like before you buy in Little Rock or before you buy in the Heights, or just trying to do like a welcome to Chenal type neighborhood. I really wanted to do that, and that's kind of I think we don't have to like dive into that too much. It's just I think we just highlight our favorite people, our favorite businesses there, our favorite amenities.
Who's the lady that runs the street? You know what I mean? Who's the lady that knows what's going on? Because especially in some of those that I see written down there,
Totally.
there's 1,000% a lady that knows all the drama on everybody in the neighborhood.
Oh, that's
Get a
great.
quick excerpt of her, just letting her piece be known.
Just really letting her
She'll
share.
appreciate it.
Yeah. What questions do we ask her to answer on video?
It'd be, how long have you lived here? How have you seen?
Who's your
it?
least favorite neighbor?
We could throw that in there.
What's
I
the
mean,
wildest thing you've seen in this neighborhood?
wildest thing you've seen? Maybe we don't include that one, but we get the question.
Yeah, all of
We
a sudden,
figure it
no
out.
one wants to buy in Chenal.
No,
Yeah, you guys have had some.
Yeah,
interesting
we've got
ones.
some wild stories, man.
Way more than
Gosh.
I've got in mine. I'll tell you.
No, it's crazy,
Mapleville's got both of y'all beat.
dude. I bet you're telling
Well,
the truth.
thank God we're focusing on neighborhoods of Little Rock.
Right.
So.
Yeah. 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 We're in Little Rock now.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I like that. We could interview some of the locals. I was definitely thinking about interviewing just the business owners.
Yeah.
Talking
Yeah.
about that.
For sure.
Especially anything that's within walking distance to a certain neighborhood, a great little
Totally.
local business highlight.
Yeah, like
fun.
the promenade and things like that. Yeah, so we'll do that. We've actually started on that. We've made some progress. We have that kind of segues into our Rackley Recommends series that takes a lot of effort. I hope you've enjoyed some of the highlights of local businesses because it takes time to like really put that together and find the people that we want to promote and coordinate. And it's a lot of energy and effort for them too, to allow us to come and take their space. And, I think it's fun. I do wonder if it's creating the value that I'm hoping that it is.
Are your relationships with the business owners far stronger afterwards, or at least slightly stronger afterwards?
Yeah.
Because at the bare minimum, you're letting them know, I want your business to succeed.
I want to support you in any and every way I can. I think one of the things that I would like to be better about is taking these people who we have on our Rackley Recommends, both from video interviews and just general, we have a Rackley recommend spreadsheet of preferred vendors. I would love to just be better about consistently giving our clients access to certain discounts and deals and just community events that those businesses are hosting or gifting.
I agree. Having a list of.
Yeah, I think there could be, for instance, you just closed on a house in Kamek Village. Here's some, local
Totally.
spots, local favorite spots
Yeah.
that I like to hit when I'm over.
Yes.
Or, over here, you just closed on a house. And
Every new buyer gets
whatever.
a free salad at whatever. I mean, shout out to Leivas. They've been so generous to give us a free cup of coffee to all of our clients.
Yeah, Leos has been great.
They're incredible. And even having that gift, knowing that we have the ability to give that, it takes the time and energy and remembrance to go and make the effort to say, oh, hey, congratulations on buying. Here's your coupon to go get your free cup of coffee at Leivas.
Yeah.
And
welcome to the neighborhood. Go check this place out. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to be better about that. I think that's something I'd like to ramp up this year, is just to be more consistent and committed to gifting generously and consistently to our people, that pairs them with these preferred vendors that have been doing great work in our community.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's good. So next we've got, let's see, client testimonials. We need to be doing more of those. Is there a fun way to do testimonials?
I've got
Nobody's switched up the testimonial game in a long time.
You haven't watched the past two, I don't think.
Oh no, tell
It's
me.
okay. All right,
Jamie,
so-
Jamie, pull up Marshall's. Yeah. What
No,
are they?
All right, so
We're gonna roll one right here.
I can't make. I've noticed I can't make the whole thing goofy and funny, or it loses the thing because
Loses
it's like,
me.
is it a joke?
Things like like I haven't seen it probably.
Well, you should have, because the beginning was super not funny.
Okay.
It was just my buddy Gary. There was two of them that I did. I did one for my buddy Gary and one for
Shout out to Gary.
shout
Gary
out
is
to
great,
Gary.
man. What a great swimmer.
He's a basketball guy, but he can swim like a fish.
He's a fish.
He
in the
actually
water.
just did.
He used to be a fish.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. I don't know if it was his first time doing the big service. I think it was first time doing the big service at PV, the Church of Christ over there in Rowdy Parham. It was
Like first time he went, or
no, he was the
preached.
guy. Yeah,
He was the guy.
If you go to Pleasant Valley Church of Christ and you play basketball, Gary is your guy to
Gary
beat.
is posting up,
You want to pick Gary with
and
the
now
first
he's not a
pick.
fish. He's catching fish for Christ.
He is. Yeah, Gary's a preacher. He's an awesome guy. But we were able to help him buy this house. He started the video off with, if Marshall hadn't had this contact, which was Robbie Cole, shout out to Robbie Cole,
Go Robbie Cole.
Benchmark home loans.
then we wouldn't have got the house.
Mm.
And so he's talking about
Love
that,
that.
in the process, and you're thinking, wow, what a serious video. And then me and Gary are playing basketball, and he snatches my ankles.
Yes.
And it's just out of nowhere.
That is the answer to the question I'm asking.
Out of nowhere.
So he likes to play basketball.
Yep.
And you allowed for that to be implemented into the video. So you're sharing not just that he loves the Rackley team and has experience working with you, he loves playing basketball and breaking your ankles.
And I love all the memories of Gary actually breaking my ankles.
Oh.
I need the song to be played in the background in that video.
Which song? Oh,
Break your ankles
okay.
or snap your ankles. One of those two.
I don't know.
Snap your fingers.
I know Snap Your
Break
Fingers.
your ankles. I think it's a song.
Oh, I
I'm
sure
sure
hope
they
it
say it.
is.
I'm
I
sure
hope
they
we
say
can
it.
find it and have it playing in the background of
Jamie?
this
We'll
video.
fact check this.
Yeah, Snap Your Fingers.
Well, the other one with Julie and Rhett Robinson, great people. It was a cool thing. So the videographer that I was working with, it was
Yes, Break Your Ankles is a song by E40. It was released in 2008.
you're a big E40 fan.
Oh, nice.
I danced to that song in college.
Nice.
Oh, let's go. I've not heard that one yet.
Oh, you've heard it.
We're about to hear it.
Yeah.
But they their video, it was really, they were talking about the process, and again, we just put in one shot. Rhett likes golfing, and so it's like he hit it, and then me and Julie, we celebrated like we were like we characters. Just
Dude, that's so good.
serious message.
Oh, I love that.
Pretty serious video.
Gosh,
and then
man.
throwing in like a little bit of
I love that. I just think that's such a gift that you have to be able to so comfortably take serious moments and make it so fun for everybody. That's awesome.
appreciate that.
Wow, I love that.
We
So
love
that's
your
the way.
creative mind and your creative ideas.
Yeah. So for me, I have to kind of like engineer it and take it as like what is the if this then that scientific approach towards this. So what I'm hearing you say is, when scheduling a testimonial, consider the giver of the testimonial and not only the uniqueness of the experience they had, but the uniqueness of who they are as a person and what they enjoy, and find a way to allow the location of the recording to enable them to activate that pleasure, whether it's golf.
I think you could easily ask them or like spotlight one of their highlights, one of their
Their favorite
hobbies,
things,
one
maybe
of
even their favorite amenity that they'll get to enjoy in their
Yes.
new neighborhood.
all the above.
That'd be cool.
I like that.
Or if
double
they,
whammy.
yeah, I mean, even if they own something like a local business or I don't know, they make jewelry
Ooh, yeah,
and they
yeah,
sell
yeah.
it.
All of a sudden, you're wearing all the
I was
jewelry.
about to say that's
Just
next step.
ice stuff.
Dude, that sounds great. Yeah, I like that. So I think I'll make a mental note to, and I might even add it to our little policies and procedures, to pursue finding the passion of the client and allowing us to highlight that in a playful way that is still honoring.
Yeah.
Like, I love that it's them breaking your ankle, you know,
Oh, yeah.
it's them making a great golf shot. That lines up with, you know, really just the goal is to like really celebrate them. It's all of our testimonials. We want them to not just be we're bragging on the realtor. We want it to be a celebration of the success story that our client got to experience. And we're just a part of that. We might get to be a little bit of like a quarterback in the touchdown experience, but at the end of the day, they're getting the 6 points on the board. They're winning the game, and that's the goal.
They own the team.
They own the
You're
team, baby.
combining client testimonial and client spotlight
Yeah.
together,
Man, that's good.
which we've done both.
Yeah. No, I like that a lot. Our testimonials are client spotlights with a story.
The McMurrays, you've sold them properties, right?
Absolutely.
The client testimonial with them, keeping this in mind, and also being like, hey guys, can you also do some crazy editing for it as well? It would be insane. I mean, just like I'll get
Oh, I love
excited.
that.
I'll get excited about picking up a client, thinking about what could I turn this into?
That's such a great vision. So you're already vision casting. When you meet a buyer, you're thinking, oh, I can't wait. You're falling in love with who they are and trusting that you have the end in mind. You're knowing that like, hey, if I can knock this out of the park for them, this is the type of testimonial I'm going to be able to achieve. Whether they're willing and able to actually share that publicly, that's not the point.
There's those calls too. That was one thing I wanted to do before the new year. I tried to call it. I called all of my clients from last year, and I asked for the testimonial. And one of them, he was just like, "Man, I really enjoyed working with you, but I am not going to be on camera."
Yeah, I get that quite a bit.
okay.
It could just be in B-roll.
I just told him it was okay.
Playing basketball.
I wonder if there's a way that when that happens, if you could do like a photo, just put a photo of them and it's like you reading something.
That would be cool.
Pretty funny. This guy, I have a client that wouldn't agree to be on camera, but he did allow me to read his words.
I love that. So this has happened.
Taking it a step further.
I kind of think of, in a funny way,
We could
Yelp,
use the AI voice thing.
Dude,
the Yelp reviews read by actors. Do you guys
Oh, I love
know
that.
those? Like,
Yes.
those are so funny.
Yes.
So you do it really professionally and like really.
Yeah. Serious
like,
reviews by
dramatic.
serious actors.
we
Yes.
could get away with this one time. We couldn't do this on a recurring thing, but if we were to, somebody's giving the client testimonial, it's like this client's a high profile individual and they didn't want their identity shared. And it's just, they've got that, they're all
Yeah.
black.
Oh, I love
funny.
that.
With like the voice distorter. Like, whoa, 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 whoa.
And it's
That's
really
just a
just
shadow.
It's really just my buddy. Jim.
Yeah. There's like a moment where the blackness kind of flickers so you can see that it's like
Yes.
totally
Like,
normal.
At the bottom, it just says not actual client.
Yeah.
Oh no,
They're
we could
actual.
Make it an actual
Yeah, got
client.
it. Yeah, they're legit.
We could make it an actual client. He still wouldn't be down, but another one.
Yeah.
I think that'd be
love
cool.
that.
Another one.
Another one. Another one. All right. So next up, we've got what we call
There are like 80 pages on that. stack of papers.
We're
right?
only
Yeah.
25 minutes deep.
Yes.
You know,
Okay, so we've got what we're calling the Rackley Team Tips, which could be a really short segment where we just kind of go through some of our favorite tips on the buying or selling process.
Talk about stocks and crypto and stuff.
Yeah, buy this stock.
XRP.
Yeah,
Just
buy Westrock. Shout out to our friends, the Ford family. So we've got also some Q&A stuff we had talked about. Let's move on. How about we have what we call the creative cherries. This is probably where we start to get to some of the fun stuff. Yep, it is. Okay, so we've got,
The rest of it's all fun stuff.
yeah, this is a lot.
82 pages of
There's
fun
your
stuff.
realtor
is-
haunted house stuff.
82 pages of fun stuff. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay, so we've got,
I thought the other stuff we were talking about was already fun.
It
so.
was fun. I was having a blast.
yeah, so we had talked about what if we could find a way to do a pharmaceutical style commercial for our real estate brand?
I've seen it done. So somebody has done it in the past year. That doesn't mean I don't want to do it.
Where people are just like galloping, like skipping through a field.
They didn't do
about,
it how I would do it.
Yeah, I'm only interested in how you would do it.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
How
When I
would
s-
you
when
do
I say
it?
how I would do it, theirs was, it looked like they had the same idea as me,
Mm,
but it's like they didn't have the right people to get it as close as possible to a pharmaceutical commercial.
mm.
I don't want it to be a real estate commercial that feels like a pharmaceutical commercial.
Interesting.
I want it to really, like, it's almost indistinguishable.
Yeah, it is
yeah, it needs to be a
produced
full parody.
like an actual.
gotta
It's a
go with-
parody.
You got to match
Yeah.
They
how
didn't
they
go
set up.
Complete
harder.
tonality, graphics,
You've got to have the guy at the
structure,
end
layout,
that
the disclaimers.
Disclaimers for sure.
Yes.
You know,
And
and
you
when we're
put-
reading,
You may
those
die.
off-
You may die right after you take the drug.
yeah,
all that stuff.
yeah. Have you started listening to those at all?
Oh, of course.
Yeah, so
it's
bad.
one of my newer favorite things to do when I catch.
How
myself
does
seeing a
anyone
commercial.
buy the drug after they hear the commercial?
Well, off air. I don't want to get weird, but there's a reason why they put those commercials on TV.
We're like only one
Yeah,
of 3 countries
I'm
that can
with
do that
you.
legally, I think.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
gosh.
legally, you can't even advertise drugs in most countries.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well that's a topic we don't want to go down. I
want to go down that.
We
so
would probably
bad.
if we were just at our Team Truth Talk right now.
Let's go down.
So, is there just if we wanted to like make a note and say like, okay, we're gonna do this. Is there something there that I could write down that we could remember?
I think one of the best things we could do, Ramsey, when you think of a medication that you like, is there any medication commercial that you remember from recently?
I
that
mean,
you're just like,
Ozempic
"Whoa."
is the most popular one. It's like, Ozempic.
Okay, we should do that
whatever.
one.
Yeah. So Ozempic. Does anybody have a
people-
pen? Thanks.
That's probably the most prevalent right now because, I mean, first off, it's working.
Yeah.
The advertising's working. So many people are
Yeah.
on it. That's like, I feel like that or one of those like migraine medicines, right? Like,
AbbVie. I see that one all the
AbbVie?
time.
Okay.
AbbVie. And I only remember that my sister's name's Abby. And I was like, ah.
Oh, nice.
yeah.
So we would take the Ozempic
song
song and just like change it to,
I think
Wegovy.
that's just a catchphrase, right?
or is it just we have our own jingle?
Well, they used the song. I mean, that was like what worked so well for them that makes it catchy.
And is ours? I think where I've struggled to figure out and nail down on it is what is the product that we're selling? Is it
So I think
It's a good question.
good question. Yes, I think that's what we got to figure out
I
for
may
sure.
have
what's
written
unique about
something.
real estate is that the product in all reality for us that we're selling is not the house. We're selling ourselves.
Yeah.
And the services we
We're
provide.
selling you on working with us to help you through the process of buying or selling a house. And so if we're trying to do a pharmaceutical style commercial where the product is a service that feels difficult to do unless it's a particular thing, like a particular service, like
Like a ring. We're not selling a ring.
I really
Yeah.
want, in my head, I want it to have something to do with Ozempic, though, because since
hilarious.
it's so popular.
It's hot.
If you could make an Ozempic joke, I mean, obviously, like Ozempic is at the topic of so many.
So is Ozempic at a core level just like helps you lose weight,
It's
right?
a diabetes medication, correct?
correct,
But it's all
That
everybody gets
it's
it for the weight
yeah,
loss.
It changes insulin
Right.
and all that stuff. So yeah, most people are doing it to lose weight and to
look better, feel
reduce
better.
cravings.
In a perfect world, it's
food
like
cravings.
reduce weight as much as you can, and then get into the gym, and then don't use Ozempic anymore.
Yeah, I think
a
so, for
perfect-
sure.
So how can we honorably and not disrespectful to the people who have really enjoyed and benefited from the drug sell a product that
The good thing about Ozempic, though, I think, is because it's become so commonly used. It's not like a
taboo?
it's not really taboo
I know
anymore. It's
so
not.
many people on Ozempic.
Yeah, same. So it's not like it's not as taboo to make fun of it because you're not making fun of the person. You're making fun of how widespread it's become.
Is
right?
it possible? This could be the answer could be very well no, but is it possible to say that we have it be like the commercial is actually for Ozempic for realtors or something, where it's like if you maybe have like something, I'm trying to think of something that is in your house that maybe gets inflamed, that you could put this home style Ozempic that like reduces the inflammation.
I was almost thinking like, are you looking to downsize?
Downsize.
I was talking about downsize your house.
Ozempic
Yeah.
your home.
Yeah.
Downsize because you're getting too.
Write it down, Jamie.
Yeah, like you're down. Are you looking to downsize? Oh no, not your body, your house or whatever. You know what I mean? Like there could be multiple
could
ways.
even-
that you
Sold Zempic.
Would it be copyright if we started out in front of the Ozempic thing and then we were like, wait, not that. Push it to the side.
I'm not worried about copyright. I think the copyright is a concern if you're trying to boost or pay for targeted ads.
Tell them to come get us.
Yeah, this is not a click funnel. This is one we post on our personal pages and our team page shares as a fun share.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that's.
I mean, I think about the video that the one real estate creator did on different brokerages. That was kind of a
Yes.
spoof
That
off the
was so
airline one,
good.
right? So different.
Oh, that
brokerages
was so good.
kind of personified.
Yes.
Do y'all remember it was super viral in 2012, the Dumb Ways to Die? It was from a train company.
Yeah.
I recently watched a video on why that resonated and stuck with so many people. I think we need to revisit that specific video and figure out, because it was the whole message of the video was for the final 10 seconds. You know, it was talking about all these dumb ways to die. And then the last 3 were very normal, but it was all centered around deaths around trains,
Interesting. Okay.
made by an Australian train company that was promoting safety around trains.
Oh, that was the whole point.
That was the whole point. And you didn't even know until the end.
I love that.
It was so good. I think
That's
Honestly,
great marketing.
Australian commercials and British commercials are some of the best. 'cause
They're the best.
Their humor
They're
is
winning.
so good,
I'm a big fan.
They're so funny.
and they're able to like be very funny in their commercials.
Yeah.
like
Ever since
we don't do in the States.
Ever since we met those Australians, I've been
Mm.
just wanting to hang out with more Australians. Those
I'm
guys
the
were
same.
so cool.
Great
Dude.
accent. Great accents. Shout out to Australia.
They are the best.
Callum.
Mm.
Callum.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
his name. That was a
Yeah,
very
shout out to
Australian name.
Okay, I love it. So, Ozempic for downsizing. We can fine tune that
Yeah.
later in the privacy of our
100%.
own brains at the pillow time. So that sounds weird. If you don't have context, we made a joke earlier about. Okay, we're gonna move on. So, let's see. All right, so music videos. This is a big one.
Yeah, let me get out my notes real quick. People have done it in the past. I don't care. We need to do it and do it better. Closing costs.
Yes, closing costs.
One last, whatever it is,
Yeah.
we've got to do it.
Yeah, even just closing time.
Well, I still
Oh
want
yeah, I mean,
parodies.
closing time still works. It's closing time.
We could do that one.
Time to
When you
transfer
said closing time,
utilities.
I was like, you mean just do the song over? I get it. I get it.
I think music videos feel true. They feel honest when they are. When we make a parody music video, something about that just feels like it lines up with everything that is natural
yeah.
about making a fun video, because it's got, like, I think we all have a appreciation for music, and kind of we're not at the talent level to pursue any actual success in a career of any music industry.
Yeah, it'd be different if we actually had any vocal skills.
Right. We're having so much fun getting to play pretend and sing. You know, I think it is a lot of fun too to exercise the thought of how can I communicate this message I want to communicate in a way that works with this song, and that people will remember it and it will be entertained by hearing it and seeing us sing it. And so I think music videos is something I would like to lean into a little more. So I've invested in some recording studio equipment.
Let's go.
So that we can kind of really double down on the effort to pursue creating and producing songs that we can more easily create the music videos for.
Yep.
Some of those music videos in mind, we had talked about doing a wow. You remember the worship album, the wow. There's Now and Wow.
Yeah.
Wow was the worship version, but Now was like the top hits of the day.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it has
Very
like
popular,
that
yeah.
montage of like just
Now
all the
42.
yeah.
Dude,
Doing
yes.
like a montage of like the best, almost like country. I had written compilation of hottest snippets from the parodies per genre. So for country, it's Every Light in the House is On. That was Marshall wrote that. Buy With Me, which is from the Follow Me, Uncle Cracker. And then for like, we could do the today's top hits, 2000s top hits, 90s top hits, 80s top hits, and then classic hits and all-time hits. Like it would be so fun to essentially even just make at least 10 seconds worth of a parody
Right.
for the top 100 songs.
Yeah, instead of committing to, it's actually kind of fun. And instead of
So
putting it all in and committing to one
Huge
song
one.
and
Yeah,
one
yeah.
music video, you make the little mini ones.
Totally.
Could we get somebody to listen to?
And it grabs
one-
attention better because you don't get
Yeah,
tired.
people don't want to watch the whole thing.
Yeah. Make a note right under the wow thing. Just write in Bruce Almighty. All you need is Bruce. When Bruce is trying to convince his,
All you need is Bruce.
well, he's trying to convince his previous girlfriend, fiance, that she made a mistake in leaving him, and so she looks up at the TV, and it is a montage of these songs that aren't real songs that are all you need is Bruce.
Oh, wow.
And it's the similar thing. When I'm thinking of this, that's exactly. I just want you to have that same example of it.
That's good. That's good. I like that. So, okay. So, which by the way, we used Voicify to try and take a parody song that Marshall and I had worked on, and I would love to hear y'all's feedback. Honestly, I personally preferred to hear Marshall's actual voice, even if it's broken and not perfect, compared to having Voicify like make me sound exactly like Avril Lavigne. I want to hear
Voicify
me.
use your own
Or
voice.
I want to hear
Voicify-
Marshall, and I want you to actually hear us. But if you would say, "Hey, we would rather hear," we want to hear the version where is that Ed Sheeran? Like even though it's your face singing the words, it sounds just like Ed Sheeran. Like we can do that. I just wondered how people would feel about that.
I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan.
It is so cool that you can do it.
I had one of my favorite videos that I've ever made. It was me playing the piano. I sent it to you. I didn't post it because I can't sing so badly,
Well,
and I just
you got the heart,
couldn't
and
do
it's there. I think you're
piano was
there.
I was there on the piano, but and that was a Christmas.
You
one.
can't not sing when it's a song you wrote. If it's a song you wrote,
true.
however it
That is
sounds
true.
is how it's supposed to sound.
But if it's a parody,
If
This
it's
is
a
how I-
parody, it's
this is how I
different.
meant it to sound. I wanted to.
Yeah,
I want to be off.
that's right. Like, try and do this. Try and sound just like me on this. It's hard. Like we want to hear your heart, and that's okay. You're
You've
not
got a great
necessarily.
heart, Marshall.
You got a great heart.
Thank you.
This is a show about honoring Marshall, giving him as many compliments as we can in an hour.
And I need it.
We all do. So, okay. Well, it sounds like we like the Voicify, and we can continue
fan.
to play with that a little bit. Okay, that's good. So, something I've wanted to do that is so simple. And I'm just, every time I'm like, why have I not done this? Because it's so not complicated to do. But, there's certain people that are doing these like reaction videos where they take little snippets of viral videos. The most common ones I see are like the ones in the gym laughing about all the different crazy like ways that people are using machinery inappropriately. And then it pans over to them, and then you see someone doing like, jumping jacks on a bench press or something.
Yeah.
And then it shows their face and they turn over, and it's another clip of someone else doing something completely wild.
When
Y'all
you're
know
in
what I'm talking
Planet-
about?
It's when you're in Planet Fitness. That's what a lot of.
Yeah. So that, and there's other genres where it's like at a construction site or like, whatever. So I was thinking it'd be great to do at a home building site. And just I Googled for it. There's a lot of great footage. I want to take these actual viral. They're less viral than some of the ones that are going so viral. But we could take some really great clips of like people doing wild stuff at homes we could do all types of different
open
ones. Like we could
house.
do influencers making mistakes in their home kitchen. We could do construction on home builds. We could find all these fun little clips from YouTube, clip it together, and do that reaction video where the only acting that we do is, they do these little reactions, and it's so funny though. Every time it makes me laugh.
One of them's like the fake OSHA guy, which is the OSHA. That's like they make sure that people on job sites aren't doing really stupid.
Yes, and
unsafe
they got
things.
like their like clipboard or whatever. Yes.
I know
those are
exactly
fun.
what you're talking about. Those are great.
I think we could do that. I think realistically, it's something where I would love to just film myself making general, like maybe I give him 50 different takes of me making reactions, and then I have the editor just do it, because a lot of those favorite clips are so easy to find. I could just tell them, hey, these are my favorite clips, and then just have them edit it. It's just I feel like it takes a little bit of time to put it together. Yeah, but I'm gonna do that one. That's
I like
that's
that.
so funny. So if we were to do that, is it ruining it by adding some sort of call to action at the end, like Rackley Realty, build it right? We got a producer on set saying, "Yep, don't ruin it."
The call to action, I don't know.
The call to action doesn't always have to be on your video. That can be
You can always be in the caption.
it can be in a caption, or it could even just be in a conversation later. Like sometimes it's just best to. It's like if you're at a party and trying to end the conversation every time with, "Well, are you ready to buy a home or sell a home?" Or, "Hey, who do you know?" It's like that's a great thing to ask when it's an appropriate time. But if you're doing it after every conversation with every person you meet, if you're constantly trying to just get your business card to somebody, it's the most like I don't want to hang with this person right now.
That's been one of the things I think's benefited me. I've given out a really low amount of business cards because anytime somebody's given me one,
It's a white flag of surrender.
it's a permission slip to leave.
It's a permission slip to leave. It's a I give up. Let's move on.
Well, see you later.
Well, see you later. Big gulp say.
I used that.
It's a big
yesterday
gulp
at
say
Walmart.
moment is what it is.
Oh man.
Gosh,
I love
man.
getting to use
Business
that one.
cards are big gulps A moments.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's see. All right, here we go. We got, you had come up with this one, Optimus Prime speech, but it's a listing video description.
Dude, actually, I did it. I just didn't do it. There was a piece of
I think it's
land.
genius.
I loved it. It did not do well. I still love
Like
it.
you posted it and it just didn't go well?
Yeah, I mean, it was over a plot of land in Maumelle, $40,000 plot of land, super small.
In Maumelle,
Oh, it was sick. I got on Voicify.
where the hills are rolling.
Dude, I think I've got the speech here.
Oh my gosh, that's
no idea.
legendary. We'll have to roll it for a second. All right, so then we also, so it sounds like you do it once and then,
Greetings, builders of Earth. Yeah.
greetings,
That's how it
builders of
started out.
earth.
That's how it
I like
started.
that.
That's so good. I think that's a great idea. I bet that if we could just try again,
I'll do that as many times.
I bet we could try that again.
as you need me to.
I wonder if we could do an AI avatar of actually having our own like Rackley bot, like Rackley robot.
Okay, so I remember Jeff had showed me something like that existed like a year ago. And with how fast AI is moving, it should be there. I
Yeah.
haven't looked into it at all past that, but I remember he had shown me where current animation, they put you in that suit that's got all the balls on it to
Oh,
track
yeah,
the
yeah.
movement. This one kind of draws a line, puts like a circle right here, circle right here, circle right here, stick figure
Oh yeah,
kind
yeah.
of through your arms. But it was in beta last year. I'd love to.
No,
love
it
to get
definitely
that.
exists. It's out there.
Looks super cool.
A Rackley robot that sounds like Optimus Prime describing our properties. I think that's such a great idea.
I mean, even if you just have AI have Optimus Prime do it,
Totally.
I think it looks cool.
Yeah, just have AIs. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Make Optimus Prime read the script.
Genius. Let's see. Podcast with Marshall and Ramsey brainstorming creative video ideas at Thomas Brown's studio. That sounds like a good idea. Hey!
We made it.
We're doing it. Okay.
Made it out of the Apple
there.
Note.
Let's go. So one that I've wanted to do that I was excited about is cinematic agent intros
Yes.
to feel like a theatrical trailer for a great movie, but it's about the process of working with Ramsey, the process of working with Marshall. In each trailer, if you will, the montage of, the cinematic agent intro would be true to the genre of kind of who they are. So it could be, yours might have a little more of that like Yellowstone, classy, cool country, and then
He's from Mapleville.
I have never seen Yellowstone.
Okay. Well,
Just say there's
I know they have cowboy hats and horses.
cowboy hats.
Yeah.
And boots.
I'm trying to think of like a song that could. Is there a song that would work well that feels kind of movie theatrical trailer? Yeah, like that, but like epic version.
I would probably take to like some Lord of the Rings has a great soundtrack.
So good.
Yeah,
Great
great movie
soundtrack.
score.
So I think that's what I'll write down is Marshall gets
Movie
Lord of the Rings, and then we could try to see which.
/ The Hobbit too. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it'd probably be the Bourne series.
Born Identity. Let's go, bro. I love that.
Jesus Christ, it's Ramsey Sheffield.
I'll be parkouring off things. That sounds fun.
Dude, that's great.
We already did it kind of with the one spy video where I slid in, so
Oh, I love that.
Just stay on brand, you know?
Yes.
may as well.
I'm writing that down. That's actually a really good idea. I just think it's a great way to have some fun with it, and it doesn't have to be, so serious. And we could have multiple if we wanted, but I would like to actually make an effort to have that produced because it'd be so fun to have.
Yeah. Something to when somebody tags you in a random Facebook group, like a Little Rock rants and raves or whatever. Hey, I'm looking for a realtor. I want a video that's like, did someone tag you in the Facebook comments and you were looking for a realtor? Notice how every other realtor just said, "Hey, thanks for tagging me." Like, have the whole video.
Yes.
Like, I'm using video marketing right now to get in front of you. This is also one thing that we're going to use to get your property sold.
Marshall,
Or
that's
something.
genius.
Kind of like the billboards, right? You're reading this right now.
Yes,
It obviously worked. Something along those
I
lines.
really think that's a good idea.
I've been wanting to. It's
Did you enjoy this video? Imagine what the video of your house is going to look like.
That's so good. I think you could even not have to make it super complicated. I think you almost could do this. This could backfire, but you could almost do something comically overdone on the edits where it's like
yes.
you're just like extremely like all the effects.
I'm so cool with that because it's a Facebook. It's not gonna. I've never had anybody that keep tagging me, guys, but I've never had.
It never works.
It's never worked. But keep doing it.
I'm trying to think in my 11 years. I don't know. It may have, but I just feel like it is so rare.
From a branding perspective, I like it because it's like
It's so
okay,
awesome.
People
It
tagged
is
me.
such a gift. Like, please tag, but the chances that person actually follows through, and even the person who says, "Hey, looking for a realtor," it's like
You could have Googled that.
just
You could have. I don't know.
It's such a funny thing.
People use Facebook like Google sometimes.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so also got we had talked about house basics with Ramsey, talking about kind of like construction material, giving basic tips about your house. Just I think it'd be cool to just make that something.
Owning a home 101, like
Owning a home 101.
like could be maintenance, could be just introducing your home or you to the pieces and parts of a home.
I love it. And, we could have like a YouTube playlist for any of these types of like series. And theoretically, we could even take the transcript from all of the videos. And by the end of the year or 5 years, however long we wanted it to be, have a book that's released from all the text of, Ramsey's tips and, Ramsey's home advice 101 or whatever.
Yeah.
People would appreciate that, and people would appreciate it. And people that don't know that real estate at the caliber that you do, I mean, it'd be a cool way to just show that off. I mean, because an impressive amount of, you could probably name all the material in here.
Drywall.
It's just made of gypsum.
Wayne's Wall.
Wayne's Wall,
Mhm.
Wainscoting.
World,
Wainscoting.
Wayne's World.
Yeah. I don't even know if
It's
that's
probably made out of MDF.
Yeah. Yeah. That's all I got. There we go. Did I say drywall?
Gypsum board.
Luxury vinyl tile.
Just like Formica.
Yeah. That just almost gave me a thought of like if two realtors showed up to show a buyer the same house and they're both like trying to show off what they know so aggressively that it's like
This
by
is
the
a
end
vanity.
of it, yeah, they're like saying all the words that are just so maybe even obvious just to like show off how much they know about the
Yeah.
house. And
Whatever a big word for a
And maybe it
roof
gets
is.
louder and louder as the video goes on.
yeah.
It's like,
And the buyer's not even in
Fireplace.
there at the end of it, and they end up like buying directly from the for sale by owner.
yeah.
Oh, that's bad.
I've
Bad conclusion.
Well, no,
reset.
I've been wanting to do something where it shows a bad agent.
Yeah.
I told you this. The bad agent is just going to be like an evil version of me with straight
So
hair.
I think the bad agent implementation of that concept of that idea is simply instead of them arguing with another realtor, which wouldn't make sense that two realtor, you can't legally do that. You have to have an agency agreement to even show the house, and that wouldn't happen.
Two
So
non-exclusives.
yeah, you could have two non-exclusive, but even then you'd
Per
have
property.
permission from both the seller would have to have approved both realtors to be there, and that the chances that's not happening.
Right.
So what could to apply that concept could be that the bad realtor is arguing with the buyer about, like, they say like, oh, you know, what a beautiful breezeway, and they say it's a veranda, you know, or just like kind of like constantly criticizing,
Yes.
correcting them in a way that's not kind or even really that clear. It's just kind of like abrasive,
Yeah.
you know. It could be just for them to try and show off what they
Do
know.
you want someone who's on your side?
Yeah. And do you want someone that's just trying to prove a point or to make you more profitable and have a much more comfortable
I
experience?
picture this person
That's what I
in
want.
like the caricature of this individual, almost like a V for Vendetta, or what's the black and white movie?
Oh, dude, that's one of my favorite
I need to watch
movies.
that one again.
V
What's
for
the black and
Vendetta.
white movie with
Zorro.
With
It's the only
with
black and white.
the red jacket or whatever.
Oh, Wizard of Oz.
Well, anyway, so I picture that style of like hat, trench coat, collar popped, just really mysterious and
Yes.
kind of mischievous
Yeah.
looking, you know?
The way that I dressed for the meeting
Yeah, that
yesterday.
noir look. What did you say?
The way that I dressed for the meeting yesterday. Black
Yeah.
beanie, this.
Just put straighten your hair.
yeah.
Yeah.
I look so evil with straight hair.
I love it. I think it's great. And you probably need to get you like a real, just gaudy gold chain with diamonds.
Okay.
Sin City. That's what I'm thinking.
Oh, I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have been allowed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I ever saw it either, but do know.
Yes, you understand the concept.
Yeah.
Okay, so someone had added on here Gen Z edits of the listing video where it's like just Chase laughing.
Well, it'd be
Or
every.
breathing or
Yeah, those are funny.
Yeah, those are
The
great.
breathings, the intermissions.
I've got one of those for Robbie Cole coming soon.
I love that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I think we need to do that at why don't we do that, the laughing one at the next content caravan.
That one's tough though because I don't want you to know that that's the point of that one. We need to be
Yeah, you
doing
can't know.
We need to be doing.
It
a
has
whole
to be
lot of
us
other
filming the
videos.
other videos and then
Yes.
taking the laughs or the
Yeah.
uhs or the
yeah,
ums or
this is
whatever.
V for Vendetta, like the guy.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's one of my favorite movies. Yeah,
I think that's your evil guy right there.
yeah, I love it.
Is he evil though? You know,
No, he's
wherever
actually
camera is.
incredibly good.
Based.
So I have I don't know what I was going with this, but I wrote Chase and Ramsey left brain versus right brain thinkers.
Hmm.
I don't know what that must have been an older one that I've forgotten about where I was going. I can't. What is that? What would that be?
It sounds like
You
one is
guys think
supposed
really
to be
different.
logical, one's supposed to be creative, but I don't know what you would do for a video.
Yeah, I don't either.
Could be something. I don't know. When I think of it, it's like when you lean into, like, you're not boring at all. But if you were doing your side of it, it'd be you kind of going through it real systematically and yeah, this is this, just very straight to the point. And then if your creative side of the brain, I mean, you're doing jumping jacks and energy everywhere.
Yeah, but something about that doesn't feel super honest because I think that Ramsey and I both leverage both. We make a discipline to
Y'all got
use
great
both sides of the brain.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily entirely natural how much we've made a discipline to use both sides, but it's I have a hard time visualizing how to make that funny. That's honest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to revisit that
I
one.
agree.
Okay.
I don't know what your brain was thinking.
Yeah, my right brain was all over the place. So, or is it left? I don't even know. That's the point,
Honestly,
I guess.
don't know either.
So,
I feel like
let's
left
see.
brain was the creative one, but I don't know.
So then, oh yeah, Mylan's Cakes, classic.
He's got to be. We have to get Mylan on
What do we got to
camera.
do to get him
Mylan,
to
for those of you who don't know, Mylan makes a great cake.
delicious?
Actually,
He can bake a fire
Man,
cake.
we asked him one day, what would you be doing if it wasn't real estate, and didn't skip a beat, just
Baking.
baking cakes.
baking cakes.
And he's like that. I mean, he is like that. It's
B and C's.
we want to do a. We've talked about it for a while. Video where he's baking the cake, and as he's baking the cake, just
Talking real estate.
talking real estate.
Mm.
Yeah,
That could
talking
be-
market updates.
Bake with me. It's almost like you kind of picture like a Martha Stewart style, like bake with me today. This is baking with Mylan, and he's baking while he's
Yes.
baking. It's just kind of just therapeutic to watch, but he's explaining something about the home buying process or whatever.
I love it.
Kind of fun.
Gosh, man, I just want to see him follow through on that. I'm wondering how I could.
We need to set a calendar event and on a Thursday.
I mean, the incentive for me, I would happily film in exchange for a bite of cake.
With how much he's talked about this cake, I need to try.
We might even
He
convince an editor to come eat the cake for some discounted editing work. If someone else is into cake around here,
I don't know
There's
if he's
no one in here anymore.
they've all bailed.
Just
he's
us.
out.
Okay, so let's see. I'm skipping some of these here.
Gone through 5 pages of your 80, by the way. I mean,
Good.
It's a good thing this is a 10-part podcast series.
Yeah. This is part 0.5.
Oh, one that I liked the idea of this was Flip House, spelled HOWS. So it's like a flip house, but it's like the how-tos of a flip. And it's at one of our flips, we talk through the how on how to flip.
How to flip. Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. I don't know if it needs much more than that. We're here at a house that we're
Just
flipping.
Let that marinate.
Here's the flip. It's just like a logo. It's like Flip House.
That's exciting.
It's got like a 50s classic Flip House.
Can it be you doing that? Flip hat, and then have it like the little reading rainbow star with it.
Yes. Flip House.
I would like to. That is one thing I would like to do. I know my stuff is corny as it is, but I would like to have some, just like a jingle.
Yeah, I picture, since you brought it up, I almost picture like a 1950s, 1960s housewife vibe where she's explaining how to make something, create something, whatever.
I like that.
And she's like, come with me today. We'll talk out a flip house. We'll
I
talk
love
through the
it.
flip house. And then she's...
I actually like that. Yeah. I like that. I really love, I think one of the greatest achievements in cinematic history that we've had in the recent past is Marvel doing the WandaVision, where they started and it was like 1940s, 50s. And then the next episode, it's like 60s, 70s. And the next episode, it's like 80s, 90s. It was one of the most exciting experiences watching that. And I think there's something...
People love a period piece.
They love a period piece. There's something beautiful about kind of stepping back into time and immersing yourself into the nostalgia of that
and you
space.
it allows you to be fun and creative with the aesthetics.
Totally.
And it doesn't just look...
It's playtime for the videographers and the editors. And that's something I would love to do, is bring in these people that could help. Like, that's something that we can't just like pay these like overseas editor. Like, this is something I want to say like, hey, yeah, Thomas, or, whoever's willing and able to take on that project. I want to put heart into this and like make it like, let me put that plant here and let me make sure that we have this 1950s, setting for this spot, whatever.
I'd get really into that.
I feel like it'd be so fun to do a period piece.
A period piece advertisement could be really cool.
Yeah. That's great.
Love a period
I can just imagine
piece.
some, like when we show up, everybody's in old cars. Like that'd be
Ooh,
one
there you
super
go.
small part that's just
Old
I
car in the
would love
garage.
that so much.
Yeah, that sounds fun. Ooh, honestly, like you could even be listing specific. Like if you had a
1950s.
like a mid-century modern, like 1950s, 1960s home, you do your whole listing shoot.
Dude,
and
that
with
is
the car,
so
like
good.
Old suit or old
All right,
clothing.
and check out the kitchen. See,
That's a little 40s, I think.
40s.
I think that's 40s.
Dude, if you get a 40s house, you got to go for that. That's gold.
I guess almost to 20s, like 20s to 40s. Did you see?
When we stop talking like that, that's
Because we use the transatlantic accent, especially all the way through like maybe beginning of 50s, right?
I don't know. I know the classic baseball stuff. The announcers, you know.
Yeah, I'm sure.
We had Scare Megan, Scare Tober. We had a teammate that is she's our dedicated notary at Chenal Village.
Oh yeah,
She's so sensitive and easily scared, like highly sensitive and very jumpy, frightened so easily. And so it's so funny because like you could just be in the room for 10 minutes and just she turns around and it's like, oh, God, just freaks out. So we had talked about trying to do like for the Halloween season, do a montage of us just like scaring her as much as we could, which would be horrific. If we tried to scare her, it would be inappropriate.
I still remember when you had scared Linda, and I bet you remember too.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Remind me. Wait,
Do you remember?
no.
help me remember.
It was at Chenal. It was at the original office. I can't remember what you did.
Oh, did I do it on purpose?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I feel horrible.
Yeah. It was funny.
Linda, is she older? How old was she? I scared an old woman.
She's probably like 60 something.
Marshall, I'm sorry.
We can clip this out, by the way.
Oh, it's on film. Oh, wait, was she playing piano or something? What happened?
I remember she was at her desk.
Is that the stage?
Huh?
Is that the stage? What happened?
I don't want to keep going because it gets worse.
Oh no,
Were we in the rec area?
I'm so sorry.
All right. You remember, we're at the Chenal
Gosh, Linda.
Chenal office right over here
I hope she's still alive.
where your office is. Where your office was there.
Yeah.
And then there's like that open area.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
she
is
used
such a
to,
great glory days.
and she would sit just right over there. And she was working hard all the time. And you went up behind her.
I don't remember recall.
This is so bad. I have deleted it from my memory because
Was it caught on film?
horrific.
When we get now, yes, it was caught on film. Dude, it 100% was.
Who captured it?
You need to go through and look at April, May, actually just May, June, July, August of 2022, because it's going to be there.
Okay.
And after this podcast is over, I'm going to finish the story.
Oh, that's so funny.
Poor Linda. Our apologies, Linda.
We love all people over the age of 60. You are safe with us.
And also all under the age of 60. We love them all, but
We love you too. We definitely won't scare anyone on purpose unless it's on video for a great video.
It was on video.
That's
and
great. We need to move on. I
We'll
feel bad
revisit
about it. Okay, so let's see. Oh, recreate a scene from Parks and Rec. We haven't
we
done
did
that.
the recreation from The Office.
Did The Office. It was a hit.
That was great.
That was so fun with Austin coming in clutch, Asian Chase.
Yeah,
Marshall was incredible as Dwight.
that's a crowd favorite. Yeah,
Thank you.
I've been getting a lot of people asking, like, can y'all please do that? It's so exciting. It was one of my favorite videos we've ever done, and I realized I wasn't even in it.
yeah. I mean, some
But
people
being
didn't
able to
even
help
recognize
play
Marshall.
with it, that was so good. Yeah,
Didn't even
you
know it
you
was
became
him.
another person.
Yeah. That was definitely, that was one of my favorite ones.
Do you feel like playing that character allowed you to reveal a little bit more about yourself? Did you?
Got to let people know, like, hey,
Do you feel like you were Dwight?
he's not just a realtor.
Yeah.
Sometimes he's Dwight
the
Schrute.
realtor. Yeah.
I don't think I can pull it off right now, though.
Dude, you did great.
Thank you.
So if we were to do Parks and Rec, is there
Yes.
a legendary scene or two that we could consider?
I'm
watched
sure
it
there are.
recently. I just watched it recently, probably last year I went through, and I can't think of one like Asian Chase.
Well, who would be who?
I feel like I'm a good candidate for Andy, which is
Oh, dude, he's
Full
so funny.
transparency. I've never seen The Office or Parks and Rec.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay. Well,
I
then,
am
wow.
useless in this
Okay.
conversation.
So who would be,
But I'm capable of Googling
who's
most popular
who's Kelly Kapoor or whatever her face is in the part? Isn't she in Parks and Rec too?
oh no, I forget her name. Jim's
talking about
girlfriend before
Mindy Kaling?
Pam. No, she's in The Office.
Yeah.
Jim's. Yeah, I know who you're talking about, but I don't know her name.
Yeah. Briley.
Yeah.
I was thinking, well, we just need to look at the scenes and pick
Yeah.
a scene.
figure out what the
Okay,
best
we
one
can
was.
Google it. We're
Yeah,
capable.
we'll do that. I don't want to take too much time on it if we're not. I was hoping like one specific scene would like bounce off your chest and be like,
There's
oh my
one
gosh.
where Andy falls into a pit. Like that's the one that I remember is Andy, which is Chris Pratt's character. Back when Chris Pratt was overweight,
Oh, dude, I kind of want to be Chris Pratt.
you'd have to put like a
A
pillow
little
or
pillow
something
in there.
You could do it though. It'd be so weird seeing you.
I admire
play-
Chris, man. He's great.
I do.
He's
I'm
so
a fan.
fit now, though.
I know it'd be weird. I think it'd be weird seeing you play his character.
Oh,
because
is he
he's-
Andy?
Yeah.
That's you. That needs to be you. I was thinking Andy from The Office
Oh.
because he's funny, and I thought you could do that role really well too. No, yeah, you need to
yeah.
be the Chris Pratt because you're able to play that really well. I don't know who. Maybe would I be Ron Swanson or is that Ramsey Sheffield?
We got to bring in a Ron. We don't have a Ron on the team.
That's the special guest.
That's the special guest.
Okay.
I wish we need a Ron.
I can be Aziz Ansari.
Yeah.
Tom.
Yes, dude, you are Aziz Ansari.
No, you need.
We could have Georgia be Aubrey Plaza.
Aziz Ansari. He's got a. Have you seen Parks and Rec?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know Aziz Ansari's friend that he starts the club with.
Yes.
That's me and you.
That
Or Ramsey.
yeah, it's definitely
Because he
us.
does what you do.
Oh yes, chicka chicka pom pom.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like he'll just do the random singing.
Yes.
I think I showed you a clip where I was like, no, this is actually Chase.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, we need
John
to do that.
Ralphio.
Love
John
that.
Ralphio.
So let's get a clip with John Ralphio and Aziz.
that would be so funny.
Okay,
I like
so
Aziz.
I do too, man. He's done well. He wrote a book, and I haven't heard much from him since. I don't know. Let's move on. He's
I'd say we call it probably 10 more minutes.
Okay.
and then we wrap up.
perfect. That helps me to know where we're at.
Okay.
So Mighty Morphing Power Realtors.
Ooh, that's fun.
That's
I'm so
5 of them?
in.
Right? And
how in the
even with white
world
one,
do
we
you
got 5.
execute that idea? This
Red.
this
We need
idea
sponsors
is,
for that
is
video.
like why we even wanted to have a space like this, because there's so much that goes into the weeds of how do I create and actually take this fun concept and like practically implement it. It needs I think it's fun to kind of go into the insight of the brains of how do we
Right.
execute this idea. And so I'm genuinely curious because one, I never watched Power Rangers. Is that what it's based off of?
Yes.
I was not allowed,
Yeah, same.
and so
I mean, I definitely snuck watched it.
oh yeah,
but I wasn't allowed to.
definitely snuck it a couple times
I
every
watched
other
a lot
weekend.
I watched a lot of Power
Yeah,
Rangers.
totally. Yeah, so it's I've not really, I don't know what it is, but it seems like it's just like hyper dramatized
They're just saving the
comical
world.
fighting.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dressed
very
as-
like you're saving the world,
So
but
it's actually based off of a Japanese version, and they were able to create it. Total side note here, guys. They were able to create it so cheaply because anytime they were actually in suits, a lot of times
just
they
dubbed
were
over the
using
voice.
the
The
fight scenes
Japanese
from the Japanese version. Yeah.
genius.
Okay, so maybe
So they would
we do
film
that.
Maybe we
Yeah, that
take
one's-
the Japanese footage.
100%. And then we get Power Ranger uniforms, and then there's a scene where we take it off.
Okay, that's actually really
Yeah,
funny.
'cause we
That'd
never
be the
have to
easiest
dress
way.
up like Power Rangers. That's the thing. You literally would create the scene just like they would do where you're in school or whatever. And maybe you have like a red robe or something in your hand.
Yes,
if
it's always
that's your
yes.
uniform. And
And
then all of a sudden we just cut to the Power Rangers, like actual footage, and then go back.
You're definitely the Red Ranger. You're yellow.
Back in the
He is
day, I was
yellow.
the White Ranger.
I could see. I was gonna say the
Oh,
White Ranger.
white.
He's evil sometimes, though.
Is he? I don't
Yeah.
remember. It's
That's
been so
not
many
you. You're
years.
never evil.
It's been so many years. What's his name? Tommy?
You're the Golden Ranger. You're the golden one. The yellow. He's gold.
She.
For not having watched it, you happen to know the most about it out of all of us. That's amazing.
I watched it a lot, but I was like 7. You know.
Yeah, I think it was the Blue Ranger. It was Billy, right? He was.
Okay,
He was.
we can have you be whatever color you want. It's going to be great.
Yes.
So I like that and kind of think it's pretty funny to take actual footage and then just clip it to us. It's almost like we had this massively dramatic fight and then it just clips to us like talking.
Ooh, and the fight could be between somebody that's trying to keep our client from a good deal, and that's kind of vague, but they're just trying to keep our client from a good deal.
That's it.
We also need to make sure that the first part of the video is shot to where you can't really tell that we're just stealing footage. Like it can't be
Oh,
shot
right,
on
right,
iPhone
right, right, right. Right.
with just regular settings, and then now it's a 1995 style shot. Yeah, you're the black Power Ranger.
So we could
The
even
black
take
suit?
the
Yes.
we could take the voice. Obviously, we take the song, the Power Ranger song, play that over the fight. It's so that we take all the actual audio away, play our own like song, and add the sound effects back.
Of us fighting, like you'll be able to be like, oh,
Yeah.
you know,
Totally, with all the punches and stuff. And then we would then add instead, like where they might say like, "You'll never get my dragon sword," we'll say something like, "You'll never get the keys to this house. It's delayed occupancy."
something.
Yeah, just like we talk
Something.
about, like your tenancy is up here, whatever.
Ooh.
Like we're protecting our client
yeah,
in a just childishly dramatic
yeah,
way.
big fan.
And then our helmets come off and we're like just eating sandwiches. And we're like, man, I'm glad we got Bobby into his house.
So professional, still in the Power Ranger gear. Just,
Yeah.
It could be, I don't know, I also think it could be like a daydream sequence where we're not actually doing any of that.
Ooh, dude,
We're
you
just
just did
imagining
it.
we're
You did it.
fighting
You
that
did
hard
it.
for
You
the
did it.
clients.
You did it.
wait, but then you wake up from the dream.
Well, like, or we're like,
But then you
we-
find the
we-
thing from the dream.
And you're wearing
It's
you're
actually
wearing it.
real.
There you go.
That's
I was
the
almost
finish.
thinking, like, what we imagine that we're doing is very heroic and very superhero-esque. And
Yeah.
then you can, like, shift the scene to the actual scene of what's happening. It's, not that.
Yeah, to the actual reality, which is far less dramatic or
We
entertaining.
feel like Power Rangers. in the moment.
Yes. I actually really like what you're saying.
Or reverse it.
That's what a
Or
typical
the
day is like for
client
me.
pictures us as
Yeah.
the Power Ranger scene.
Oh,
And we're like,
yeah.
hey, are you okay? And then they go back to you, and it's just them standing in front of you at the house or whatever. Like, anyway, like I said, we're definitely going to get him to fix this.
Yeah.
Yes.
But, like, in your mind, you're
Oh,
a Power
I kind
Ranger.
of like that. It's the buyer repair requests.
Imagining you as the superhero.
Honestly, that's really good because that is a step of the negotiation process where a realtor.
I wish everyone could see the notes that Chase is taking on this paper right now. No one will be able to follow them, including Chase.
I hope
There's just
so,
arrows
it's
to
golden
random words
words written down right here. These are great ideas. So I think we could highlight the process of the buyer agent really fighting for their buyer on the repair request negotiations. It's a real thing. Like
Yeah.
that's something that particularly for our team we try really hard to be. We like to say win-win or no deal. And if it's not a win-win, we would rather, we'd recommend walking away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I like that. Is it time?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. One that I've wanted to do for a long time is an Ocean's 11 style intro of our team, where it's like, maybe it's kind of like I'm Danny Ocean. I'm talking about like our team in a really cool, almost like spy-esque fashion of like what each person's skill set. And
The
kind
Oceans
of,
are some of my favorites.
yeah,
Great
those are
films.
absolutely. And I do think that we have a unique opportunity here that I feel connected to you, Ramsey, in a sense that I feel like Danny felt with Brad Pitt.
Right.
George Clooney, Brad Pitt,
That's because I look like Brad Pitt.
Chase,
Right?
Ramsey.
Young Brad Pitt.
Just like Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I just feel like I want to be like them. I feel like they have a real longevity to their career success. And we've kind of experienced that in our own way. And I think there's an opportunity there to find other ways that they've worked together in their cinematic experiences to create our own that can reflect that.
I like that.
I've never seen
I
it.
think that could be fun.
Okay, Marshall's never
Marshall's
seen it.
homework is to watch Oceans.
You've got to watch Oceans.
It's a heist movie, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. What is
We've
it?
talked
Oceans,
about heist movies.
Oceans 11 was the first, right? And then Oceans
Yeah.
12, and then
13.
Oceans, and then it would go back. Didn't when they're Oceans 8 or something?
Yeah, I forgot about that. And then they did 13
Yeah.
with
Anyway, they're all great.
the woman was the
Watch
lead.
the OG for sure.
It's all of them are great. I
Yeah.
love them all.
Agreed.
So let's see. All I have here is Realtor Drinks Prime. I'm not sure what that's about. Where does that idea go? I don't know. I'll move on. Client talks indistinguishably indistinguishably country slang, and Marshall interprets perfectly.
Oh, that sounds actually.
The tagline at the end is "We know country."
Yeah,
That's accurate.
that is so accurate. I
Gosh,
guarantee
dude,
you.
that's gold.
Have y'all had a client in the past few years that were so country that you genuinely couldn't understand? Or somebody that you've spoken to about real estate?
I've definitely had to lean in. I've had some I've had to like really like put on my listening ears.
Honestly, talking to some of the older agents in town would be
The
more-
agents are the worst,
Yeah.
are more often the problem for me than the clients.
I love it. I'm instantly like, okay, they know that I'm their guy. They can hear it.
Totally. Do you repeat? Do you mirror back? Do you repeat? Do you talk back?
Ramsey's seen it. Ramsey's seen me go from this voice to I see one of my hometown friends.
Yeah, but that's
in
not
real time.
That's not country. That's a different accent that you do.
Okay, well then you need to come to the motocross track.
Yeah, maybe.
I put on the sombrero and
Oh.
and it's there. But yeah,
That also
we can
sounds
turn
like a
it on and
different
off.
accent. So
Well, in honor of the
It
fact
is,
that
yeah.
we have less than 30 seconds left and that we are 1/8 of the way
to be
through.
continued.
To be continued. I actually think this is a lot of fun. I'd love to join y'all here same time next week if you're up for it.
For
'Cause
another
this-
brainstorming session.
for another brainstorming session. I think it's a really fun way to reveal the behind the scenes of the chemistry that we have and the collaboration efforts that go into creating our team brand and the goal of being our market's top selling, high energy, highly effective group of realtors that work to give a great experience to people who are looking to buy
The
or sell a
energetic
home.
experts.
Energetic experts who are committed to excellence. That's the Rackley team.
100%.
Well, thank you, Marshall, for having me, and Ramsey for having me. I'm excited to get to continue this journey of brainstorming great video ideas and having a lot of fun talking through building this business.
No, this was a blast. I'm definitely looking forward to next time. But I hope
Yeah.
you guys stay warm over the next couple of days.
Signing off for now. Prayers
I'm
for-
right down the road. If it snows, we're going sledding. I'll see you guys later.
I got my skis ready.